Hello, good morning. So, in this video, we will see the biochemical test that routinely used for the identification of microbial culture. Now, in this lecture, we will study first two biochemical tests. First is H2S production, which is used for identification of number of different bacteria, and another is sugar fermentation. Now, first of all, let us see H2S production. How to perform H2S production in the laboratory, and what is the mechanism behind, what is the principle of H2S production. Now here, in case of some in case of mainly Providentia group of organism, which is group Providentia group of organism, the organisms as well as organisms from the Enterobacteriaceae family, organisms from the Enterobacteriaceae family, these organism specially shows this H2S production test positive. The examples of organism are Salmonella paratyphi B, Salmonella paratyphi B, which is the one of the best example of the organism which gives positive H2S production. Proteus vulgaris is there, which is also positive for the H2S production. So to differentiate organisms from family Enterobacteriaceae as well as organisms from the group Providentia, this H2S production test is used. Here aim is to check whether organism produces H2S. That property can be checked. Here all of you know that organism requires protein as a source of nitrogen, but this protein consists of certain sulfur or sulfur containing amino acids are there. This SH group is there in certain amino acids, and when organism reduce that sulfur from the sulfur containing amino acid, there is formation of H2S gas, or H2S gas is liberated by the reduction of sulfur, especially from the source of sulfur is sulfur containing amino acids which are provided in the protein. So that H2S can be detected by the H2S production test. Here we for detection of H2S production will require 2% peptone water. This peptone water is a good source of protein. Peptone is a protein. That protein consists of sulfur containing amino acid. When organism reduces that sulfur, it produces H2S gas, and that H2S gas can be checked in the laboratory. Here, so the test can be performed. For the test, we will require a 2% peptone water, or you can use tryptone water. So this is the 2% peptone water. Here, the amino acids from the tryptone or amino acids from the peptone was reduced to form H2S gas. Now to check the H2S gas, here there is use of a reagent or a paper called as lead acetate paper. The procedure is very simple. You are provided with a 2% peptone water tube, and a suspension was given to you, bacterial suspension, 24 hours bacterial suspension, of which you are going to check H2S production ability. So inoculate this suspension in 2% peptone water tube, and then hang lead acetate paper. You are given with the lead acetate paper. This is the paper consists of Wattsman filter paper strip, which is already soaked in 2% lead acetate. So that lead acetate paper is given to you. After inoculation of this bacterial culture in 2% peptone water, hang that paper in the peptone water tube. While placing that paper in the tube, do not touch that lead acetate paper in the medium. So allowed to hang it on the peptone water broth, and then incubate this tube at 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. Now, how to check H2S produced by the organisms inoculated in 2% peptone water? How this H2S was liberated? H2S was liberated from the proteins present in this peptone water, especially that protein contains sulfur containing amino acid that get reduced by the enzyme sulfur reductase enzyme. Sulfur reductase enzyme reduce that amino acid, and H2S was liberated. That H2S, when it was liberated during the incubation, that H2S gas react with the lead acetate on the paper. Suppose here this is the lead acetate, H2S produced by the organism, react with that lead acetate. So suppose this is the reaction CO, this is lead acetate. If H2S was liberated by the organism, that H2S liberated react with the lead acetate present on the paper to form the lead sulfide. The reaction is lead sulfide and acetic acid, CS3COOH. So there is formation of such lead sulfide, and on second day when you observe the tube, after 24 hours, you will observe black color or black precipitate on the paper. If there is black precipitate on the lead acetate paper, it indicates that organism produces sulfur reductase enzyme. That sulfur reductase enzyme specially reduce sulfur containing amino acid. Now, which is sulfur containing amino acid? This sulfur containing amino acid is cysteine and cysteine. So organism produce cysteine desulfurase. That cysteine desulfurase was reduced sulfur from that cysteine to produce the H2S gas. This H2S gas produced by the organism react with lead acetate on the paper, and that lead acetate, when react with H2S, there is formation of black PPT of lead sulfide. And if we observe that black PPT, it indicates that H2S gas was produced by the organism, and thus H2S test is positive for the given test organism. So that is a simple test called as H2S production. Procedure is very simple. You are given with the 2% peptone water or tryptone water shown in the figure. You are also given with the bacterial suspension. Inoculate that bacterial suspension, 2 loopholes of bacterial suspension in the peptone water tube, and then after inoculation, hang the lead acetate paper on the tube. Do not touch that lead acetate paper in the medium, and allow to incubate for 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. Within incubation, organism will grow there. They will reduce sulfur from sulfur containing amino acids present in that peptone, and they will produce H2S gas. This H2S gas will react with the lead acetate paper, lead acetate on the paper, and they will produce PBS, lead sulfide, that has a black color PPT. And if there is black color, it indicates that test is positive. So this is about the first test called as H2S production. Now let us go for the second biochemical test, which is the sugar fermentation. How sugar fermentation can be carried out in the laboratory, and how to perform the sugar fermentation test. So next biochemical test is the sugar fermentation test. Here organisms can be identified depending upon the ability of different types of the sugar fermentations. There are a number of different sugars like glucose, mannose, lactose, arabinose, xylose, mannitol, and different organisms have capacity to ferment different types of the sugars. So you have a standard chart of fermentation ability of the organism. So you check the fermentation ability or fermentation of different types of the sugar by the given organism, and you can compare your results in the standard table and you get the name of organism. So this is the sugar fermentation test used to identify the name of organism. Now how to perform the sugar fermentation? Before going in detail about the sugar fermentation, we must know the difference between fermentation and respiration. What is the basic difference between fermentation and respiration? These both are the catabolic pathways performed by organisms to derive the energy. This fermentation was occurred in case of anaerobic bacteria. Those bacteria which do not require oxygen, those bacteria grow in absence of oxygen, are called as anaerobic. They ferment sugars. When you provide a sugar as a source of, sugars are usually used as a source of carbon and especially energy. So when you provide these sugars to the organism, anaerobic organism perform sugar fermentation. And in case of aerobic bacteria, those bacteria which are aerobic, they respire sugar. The respiratory way of the respiration is the oxygenic way. By oxygenic catabolism, they use sugar as a source of energy. So here respiration occurs in case of aerobic bacteria, that is the bacteria which require oxygen. Now what happens in case of fermentative bacteria? Suppose you provide a basic sugar, glucose. That glucose in case of fermentation, first of all enters into the glycolysis. As you know, glycolysis is common in both aerobic as well as anaerobic. While passing through the glycolysis, it is converted to the two molecules of pyruvic acid and pyruvic acid. Here in case of anaerobic bacteria, further catabolism do not have Krebs cycle in anaerobic bacteria. So in fermentation, what happens? This pyruvic acid is finally converted to lactic acid, some organic acids like lactic acid, gases like carbon dioxide, and alcohol, that is ethanol, is produced. So these are the end products of the fermentation, and very less amount of energy. The amount of energy liberated in this fermentation is only 2 ATP molecules. So that is the way of glucose catabolism in case of fermentation. And what happens in aerobic bacteria? In aerobic bacteria, when a glucose was given as a source of carbon, that glucose was catabolized firstly by glycolysis. As I said, glycolysis is common in all bacteria, plant, animal, anywhere glycolysis is common. So in aerobic bacteria, again, there is glycolysis. Glucose was converted to two molecules of pyruvic acid. This pyruvic acid is further enters into the TCA cycle, that is Krebs cycle, and the final products are carbon dioxide and water, and the amount of ATP generated is about 38 ATP. So that is the basic difference between the fermentation and respiration. And here we are going to check this fermentation. Fermentation check करायचे whether organism can able to ferment sugars. You can check the fermentation of sugars like glucose, then mannose, then mannitol, lactose, xylose, arabinose, and so on. So you can check any sugar for the fermentation ability by the given organism. And as I told, we have a standard chart of sugar fermentation by different organism. And by comparing your results with that standard chart, one can get the name of organism. Now, how to perform the sugar fermentation in the laboratory? So for the sugar fermentation, we requirement test is very simple. You requires the sugar fermentation medium. Sugar fermentation medium. This medium consists of a sugar, any the sugar you want to check. You may add glucose, mannose, mannitol, lactose, any of the sugar. So respective sugar was added, of which you are going to check the fermentation. Respective sugar is there in 1%. Medium also consists of sugar fermentation medium consists of this sugar fermentation medium consists of peptone. It consists of very important is Andread's indicator is there. Yes, Andread's indicator, it is the pH indicator. Here it also consists of NaCl. So that is the composition of sugar. Here, suppose this is a tube having sugar fermentation medium. The sugar added may be any one of the sugar. This sugar fermentation tube consists of peptone as a source of carbon nitrogen. Here it consists of NaCl to maintain the osmotic balance. Sugar is to check the fermentation. And here Andread's indicator is there. What is Andread's indicator? Andread's indicator is the pH indicator. It is the pH indicator. It changes its color between 5 to 8 pH. Between 5 pH 8 to pH 5 to 8, it shows the color changes. At the pH 5, it is usually pink. And as pH rises to alkaline side, it becomes yellow. So at pH yellow, it is 8. At pH 8, it is yellow. And at acidic pH, that is at pH near about 5, it becomes pink. So that is how it acts as a pH indicator. It shows the changes in pH by changing its color. This Andread's indicator can be prepared in the laboratory by using acid fuchsin, 0.5% acid fuchsin was decolorized by one normal NaOH. That is the composition of anhydride indicator. Acid fuchsin decolorized by one normal NaOH, and that prepared anhydride indicator was preserved in the bottle, and that indicator can be used as a pH indicator. Now here another thing is there in the sugar fermentation. Here this tube consists of a small inverted tube. This tube is called as Durham's tube. Durham's tube. Here, now what is why there is use of Durham's tube? Here, as I said, when sugar was fermented, there is formation of carbon dioxide and acid. So sugar fermentation can be detected by production of acid and carbon dioxide. If there is production of acid and carbon dioxide in the test tube, you get the idea about the sugar fermentation. So in this medium, sugar fermentation medium, Durham's tube was incorporated in the inverted position. If gas is produced, that gas get accumulate in the test tube, and on second day you will get the gas bubble in the test tube. So formation of gas bubble on second day of the incubation indicate the gas production. At the same time, as there is presence of pH indicator and anhydride indicator, that indicator in acidic condition, it will give the pink color. So originally when medium was prepared, the pH of medium is 7.2. So your medium is yellow. Now what is the mechanism? Here you are given with such sugar fermentation tube. At the same time, you are also supplied with the bacterial culture, 24 hours old bacterial suspension. 24 hours old bacterial suspension is given to you. This from of this bacteria, you are going to check the sugar fermentation. Suppose lactose fermentation tube is there and the organism is E. coli, then inoculate the organism in sugar fermentation medium. As I told, fermentation medium consists of these different components with the Durham's tube. You inoculate the organism and incubate the tube at 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. Now what will happen? Within 24 hours, organisms will grow there. They use lactose. If organism ferment lactose, there is production of such acid and gas. This organism, test organism, will ferment lactose from this medium. It will produce lactic acid. At the same time, it will produce carbon dioxide. Within 24 hours, the carbon dioxide produced get accumulated in Durham's tube, and there is development of gas bubble in the Durham's tube. At the same time, due to the acid production, the pH of medium, which was originally 7.2, becomes acidic. And in acidic pH, as I told, pH indicator, this anhydride indicator turns pink. So on second day, your tube becomes pink, which is originally yellow. This yellow tube on second day, it will become the pink, and gas bubble is there. So gas bubble in the Durham's tube and pink test tube indicate the acid and gas production, and this acid and gas production is the indication of sugar fermentation. In the fermentation, organism will produce acid and gas from the sugars, different sugars. So production of acid and gas can be checked by using Durham's tube and anhydride indicator. Anhydride change in the color of anhydride indicator from yellow to pink indicate gas production, and accumulation of gas bubble in the Durham's tube indicate the gas production. This gas is carbon dioxide. So production of acid and gas indicate the positive sugar fermentation, and that is the second test one can use for the identification of organisms. So this is how these are two tests one can use for the identification of any unknown culture. So that is about the H2S production and sugar fermentation. Thank you.